This is a 6-player fixed card game on one of the biggest real-world based maps called Earth 2209 AD. This map is huge, so could be very fun to play in a 6-player game where basically everyone is supposed to get a continent, or at least to have a decent attempt on it, since not always other players will be neighboring friendly. But I mean basically everyone have a decent chance no matter where they spawn, no matter of their position. All of these continents have a lot of territories to capture, a bunch of borders to defend, and give huge troop bonuses. Usually this map is based on the arms race. You want to be one of the first players to get a continent, and then expand and be stronger than others as well. As otherwise, if you're one of the weakest players, then you will probably be destroyed by those who look to expand their lands. And turtling without a continent doesn't really work on this map, simply because of the big continent troop bonuses. So if you just build your troops into one big army without having a continent, then very likely you will be taken out in the blink of an eye, as you will just be a small fish in comparison with a gigantic sea monsters. The troop difference will rapidly grow into the other players' favor once they get their continents. So as you can see, I decided to just go for the easiest continent for me to capture, which is United States, and I will be fully able to capture it with my second turn coming. However, capturing a continent is just one thing. Another thing is to assure that nobody will consider invading it. And obviously at first to guard all of your borders properly might not be the case or even an option, so this is where the alliances come in place. You just basically want to send the alliances for everyone. It might be a sneaky strategy loyalty-wise, but if it works, then it works. You cannot blame yourself if other players so easily trust you. And I mean they themselves might have multiple allies as well. But the point is to send the alliance for everyone is because to increase the chance that nobody would be attacking you, but would focus on attacking each other, while you just either turtle in your continent or expand your lands. And another thing is to see who wants to be friends and who could potentially be enemies for you. To increase your chances to win, you would probably like to that with the going towards endgame you would end up in it with your allies, or with the players who want to help you, but not the enemies. The players who would want to attack you and could seriously cause you some problems. So by sending the alliance requests, that helps you in the way to filter the players. The ones who accepted could be your good friends, and the ones who either declined or ignored could potentially be your enemies, or just simply want to stay neutral. But I mean friendly players who are willing to help you to attack someone else with you are much better than the neutral players anyway. Fortunate thing for me that most of the players accepted my alliance request, but the most unfortunate thing that the two which I needed alliance the most of didn't. That's the two neighboring players, blue and purple. The blue player is actually neutral, he was fine with me holding North America. But then the purple player's turn came and he invaded me into my continent. I thought that with me not invading him into his unguarded border when I could, he would appreciate me and be a good neighbor as well, but I was wrong. But I mean, who could have known? To go for North America was my best shot anyway. But now, since I know that the purple player is an aggressive player who is looking forward to invade whichever players he is bordering with, I have to modify my strategy and adapt to the circumstances. The worst thing which I could have done is to try invading him back and wasting my troops. With me being so much weaker, there's no way I would have prevailed over purple, and with it I would have been destroyed. Then another thing I could have done was to simply recapture my continent, but if a player wants to prevent you from holding a continent, then he will invade you again. And another thing was to not recapture my continent but just continue building my troops into it, and that wouldn't have worked out either, because with the purple player becoming stronger and quickly expanding, he would have wiped me out and I would have lost the game. So I went with the fourth choice, which was to try relocating myself as far away from the purple player as possible. So with me not being near to him, he would be a problem for others, and would only be a problem for me only when he would become a neighboring player again as well. But as you can see, firstly he would have to defeat either blue or green in order to get to me. Actually, that was a risky decision for me to capture Oceania, because that was very likely that the green player would have liked to captured it himself, and with that I risked of making him mad and with that to be wiped out from Oceania. But I mean that was still much better than keep being next to purple, and then with the purple player invading green and with the green player not receiving his continental troops anymore. That was more likely that he will pay more attention to recapture his continent rather than to invade me. And I believe some miscommunication between me and the green player happened because when I told him to attack pink, I meant that he would capture his continent since the last territory to capture for him was the pink player's one, but the green player actually started attacking the pink player's territories in the Oceania as well, and then with me actually retaking those territories from him in order to capture Oceania, could have really made the green player dissatisfied with me. So I really made the miscommunication here, and next time I shouldn't send the attack request to attack some player if I just mean that my ally would just finish capture his continent. But I mean the green player already has Eastern Asia, which is the biggest continent in this map, who gives the biggest amount of troops, and for him to want Oceania as well, I would say that's a little bit greedy. I wouldn't be able to be in a proper alliance and help the green player out if I didn't have any continent. I think if I became barely alive, then the green player would, probably even himself would wipe me out. So in order for our alliance to work out somehow we both must have continents. Anyway, with me finally getting stronger and a much better position, I could have retaliated to the purple player and invaded him into Northern Europe, so to highly increase the chances that he would be the player to get eliminated first, since he has already made a lot of enemies. But I mean that's good to have such player in the game, so as long as you will be affected by him the least, I would like that the game would be progressing but not stalemating if a lot of players are passive. So with that it's in my best interest to keep the most aggressive player in the game, as with him we will actually have some action going on, and since I could actually be the last player he will get to, that's especially promising for me, as he would defeat a lot of players, and probably the most passive ones. So because of that I do not really want to attack purple so as long as he is not a problem for me. Otherwise it would probably be the Mexican standoff, or the passive players would let some player to become way too strong. So that's good that the players who wouldn't firstly initiate or start a conflict by themselves, are actually getting attacked by someone. Anyway, at first when the pink player sent me an attack request to attack blue, I didn't respond with anything, because I didn't know whether he's serious about it or just wants to manipulate me, or what does he have in mind by that in overall. And then with me firstly attacking the blue player by myself alone would have been dumb anyway. The pink player even if helped me, he might not have done it enough. But then with the pink player actually invading the blue player, I decided that I will join him. As one thing I would like that the game would progress, and if I do not want to attack my allies, which is quite obvious, and then if I do not want to attack the most aggressive player, then the player who is being left is the neutral player, so in this case blue. Even though he wasn't a problem for me, he didn't accept my alliance request. And that leads me to another reason to attack blue, is because if I want to have a strong relationship and alliance which could make me win the game with someone, then I have to help some player out. As with both of us attacking someone, that could really make one of us to win the game. And I think the pink player is actually the best fit for it. He is the one who is encouraging to attack someone and actually attacks that player by himself. While the green player, for example, who is my second best ally, is just looking to expand his lands without attacking anyone. And the white player seems to be a very basic ally who will probably be neutral towards everyone so as long as he doesn't get attacked by them. And then finally the purple player is an aggressive player who doesn't want to be friends with anyone, well at least with me, but basically he attacked everyone so far, so except pink, who to be honest is not really close to him. So taking my observations, how are they now? I think it would be the best for me to end up in the 3-player endgame with the pink and purple players. The pink player would be attacking the purple player along with me, while the purple player would attack any of us, whichever one of us is closer to him. While probably the worst combination for me would be green and white. the green player only looks to expand without attacking anyone, and as an ally could get really emotional if remembering these angry face emojis he sent, so breaking the alliance with him or invading him into his continent would probably cause a very strong reaction and he would probably just do everything to get rid of me. While the white player seems to be the most passive player in this game, and probably attack someone if only that person attacks him. So basically that endgame with the green and white players would end up with me attacking green and with the green player strongly retaliating and with that the white player winning the game if him actually knowing how to deal with that situation into his advantage, or with nobody attacking green, and with the green player becoming too much strong. Anyway, I told the green player to attack purple because they were both getting very strong with all of those expansions. But the thing what happened is that the white player ended up attacking purple since he was attacked by him before. So that's actually bad that there's a conflict between them, as meanwhile the green player will probably grow very strong. That could obviously be prevented if I team up with pink and we both attack him. But I'm afraid the pink player wouldn't follow me, and with that, with me ending up attacking the green player alone, I would just be destroyed by him and eliminated next. So even though to attack the green player would be the right decision when it comes to the balance of the game if taking a look into the troops counter and the amount of troops the green player gets, it might still not necessarily be the best decision when taking all of the players' skill level and their playing style into account. As the green player would not necessarily know how to capitalize on his advantage, and with me being the first player who attacks him would mean to make myself eliminated. So it's better for me to wait and see how the things turn out, especially when taking into account that I'm playing with lower ranked players. The things make worse is that the white player has left the game and became a bot. So with that it will be even easier for the green player to end up having more troops than the rest of the real players combined. Though since the white player left, he won't be exclusively focusing on purple, so when it comes to this, it is actually really good, as if the green player will let purple hold his continents, then the purple player might actually be able to balance the game out. And if you're wondering why the pink player just invaded white, is because I think he realized that the white player became a bot, so he doesn't want that with the bot getting the continental troop bonus, he would get invaded by him. Anyway, the white player is gone so won't be an issue for anyone. And with the purple player saying good game when the green player was taking white out, I followed it as well and said good game with a long sending wow emoji, and it's because to strengthen other player beliefs that the green player is becoming uncontrollably strong, so they would finally consider attacking him. And then I said well played, so the green player would still think that I'm his best ally, so he would be attacking anyone else except me. Now I'm trying to strengthen my diplomacy with green by telling him to attack purple while actually attacking the purple player by myself as well. I think the green player would be able to easily invade the purple player into the rest of the purple player's continents, so I only wiped out the purple player from only one of them. Also I saw the pink player building a bigger army next to green, so I expected the pink player to attack green. The pink and purple players have actually been neutral towards each other during all of this time, so actually it would be the best for me to end up in the 3-player endgame with pink and green, or purple and green. I mean the pink player is an ally while the purple player could consider attacking anyone, but either way the green player is a must for me in the 3-player endgame, as he is an enemy for both purple and pink. Unfortunately I didn't predict it right about the green player invading purple into all of the rest of his continents as he only invaded him into one, and I mean I should have really taken into account that with the green player being invaded by pink, he won't retaliate that much to purple anymore. But the good thing is that the purple player surprisingly rage quit the game, as otherwise I would have been in a terrible situation with the purple player properly retaliating to me, but now since he quit, I think I might even be in the best position if assuming the pink and green players stay as loyal allies to me. And it seems the pink player will stay being one with him sending thumbs up, and I don't really see a reason for the green player to betray me either, with us being such good neighbors all of this time, and with me being the only player who hasn't invaded him into continents. So unless if I become looking too strong, I doubt the green player will attack me, so unless I invade him first. I didn't invade the purple computer player into his continents because obviously he will be causing much more damage to my opponents rather than me, if looking to the location wise. So that's actually good for me that the bot is holding those continents, as otherwise I would have to attack the pink and green players by myself. Though looking to the troops counter, I'm actually as strong as the pink and green players combined, so probably could consider invading both of them next turn, as otherwise if they invade me first receiving their troop bonuses, then actually my advantage could be gone. Though in this turn I decided to invade the bot into his upper northern Europe continent, as I was afraid he could invade me into my upper western Arctic continent with me not having that big of an army on the bordering border. With the pink player attacking green and purple, the situation looks very promising for me, but the green player could still mess up the plan for me by possibly invading me into all of my continents. But it looks like the green player is attacking both of my opponents as well, so actually I cannot believe how well the diplomacy has worked out for me, as it's just ridiculous to let me hold all of those continents, and what is even more ridiculous is to meanwhile attack each other while actually letting me do so. And I think this is the moment when I betray someone. The pink player has sent me the attack request to attack green, and I think this is what I'm going to do. Though at the same time it would be good for me to attack the pink player himself as well, but I think the pink player might be genuine about sending me the attack request to attack green, so actually he might not immediately betray me. But let's see what is the pink player's plan. And that's awesome. He is actually going after the purple bot. Actually I'm very glad that I invaded the green player instead of taking out the purple bot out, as the same thing could have happened for me as it happened to the green player when he being the strongest took the white bot out and lost his advantage, and then with the purple and pink players attacking him, led him to becoming one of the weakest players on the board. I'm very happy that the pink player, besides invading the purple bot into his continent, has taken down some troops of the green player as well. So from what I see, the pink player has taken our alliance very seriously, and even too seriously. And for the green player to become very mad on me after I betrayed him was obviously expected, but I mean it doesn't matter at this point for me at all because I will just simply take him out. I really appreciate the pink player as an ally, especially when at the beginning of the game he proposed me to attack the blue player and actually attacked him himself, so the game wouldn't that much stalemate. So I think I will firstly take out the purple bot out as well before invading him into his continents. Well, actually the bot only has 2 cards, so I wouldn't be able to trade in the set in the same turn, so with that I could end up not having enough troops left to invade the pink player after that. And then at the first place I could fail taking the purple bot out if not getting good enough blitz rolls. So because of that I decided to still rather invade the pink player into his continents. And obviously it would have been the best decision either way, but I just wanted to show some support and appreciation to the pink player. Obviously you shouldn't focus on the bots when there are still any real players left in the game, as usually it's very easy to deal with the bots after you deal with real opponents, so unless you're barely alive, but basically all more decent players will go after each other while leaving the bot alone. But in this case I was too overpowered, so it didn't really matter for me to take out the purple bot out before dealing with the pink player. The pink player was just too nice of an ally, so I just wanted for him to have at least some fun as well. And actually I find it very hilarious with him still trying to win despite having below 0% odds. And now for another non-classical map I would recommend you watching this video as well. That's another interesting game with a lot of interesting attacks, diplomacy, and strategy. So make sure to check this one out as well.